Hello, Cancer. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Vailima Tarot. It's by Renata Lechner. And for the supportive oracle cards, the magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. I think it's glaring, maybe not. Okay. Already shuffled. Relationship first. Single second. And oracle cards come out as needed. You got a lot of cards. Alright, so the first thing I'm hitting with, and I saw the world pop out, but I'm also seeing the wheel connect in with it for you guys, and I'll show those as we keep going, but a phase shift. A phase shift is definitely going on here. It's affecting your relationship very heavily. And the nutshell I'm getting, just as a start off, is your partner is having a hard time with it, but it does seem to go better as time goes on. So let's go slowly with this. Because I'm getting the first thing that's strongest for you is your challenge card. The Queen of Wands. It's taking action on this. You know this is going to move you into a whole new sector. If this is working for you, if this is hitting for you, you know that this is definitely a big phase change, and this is going to change things for you and your partner. There's just no way around it. Even if it's just a schedule change, you know it's going to change the dynamic of what's been going on up to this point. All right. Now, this is happening. This is definitely something you want. You're getting new beginnings, passion, the Page of Cups, and the World. Now, even though it's a good change, you got new beginnings, you got passion, you do want this. But I'm noticing it's the Page of Cups. And I feel like it's because it's just starting out. You're aware that this is going to affect your partner in some respect. And you're just kind of like, I just feel like it's the change. It's like once the change is put in place and you're used to it, you know it'll be okay. You know it'll actually be better for you. It's just getting through it. And I'm getting that your partner has two cards coming in here. I'm feeling they're trying to not let you know, but they have the Three of Swords with the Two of Swords. Like, I'm getting that they're happy for you and they want this for you, but they don't want the change, and they're not really happy about the change itself. So for some reason, they feel like this is going to put a strain on the relationship for a temporary period of time until it's more settled and things have come in. Like, I feel like they don't see how this is going to... I get the Two of Swords in the sense of, like, they're happy for you, but they're also sad because they don't know how this is going to play out. I feel like they're getting that some way this will work out and this will realign in a good way. This will work out. But I'm getting they don't see how just yet. They know it will, but they're not seeing it, and they're nervous about, like, what change is going to happen here. I'm trying to touch on this a little better because I feel like it's the lack of vision. It's the lack of seeing what's going to happen next. It's kind of taking it on faith it will work out, but they're not seeing, like, where. Like, they know it will, but they're not seeing where or how just yet. Even if you're telling them how, they're not feeling it, and they're just like, until it actually happens, they're just not seeing how this is going to work out well. They're worried. I do feel like they're worried. But the Two of Swords is telling me they're happy for you, but it's balanced out. Like, they're very happy for you, but they're very worried about what's happening next. I feel like your partner's more... It's heavy. It's heavier on your partner's side. I don't know how I want to term that. Pessimistic, maybe? They're trying not to be. They want to be supportive. I do feel that. But it's just kind of like they're so used to the pattern too. The thing is, this world is coming in for you, and the world will not be denied. You cannot... If this is hitting for you, that cannot be stopped. It has to happen. It needs to happen. And I'm getting the Ace of Swords is next for you. You're taking action. You're making it happen. You're going forward. Swords is usually air, communication, intellect. But I'm getting this as literally it's starting to happen. and you're communicating what's going to happen. You're letting your partner know. You're keeping your partner in the loop. And I'm getting when that happens for you, they're feeling the Eight of Swords. That there's nothing they can do to stop this change. I feel like they're also, they don't want to stop it. They're just like, they don't know what to do. And they were very comfortable and happy the way things were. And it's just going from very comfortable and happy and moving out of that. It's like, whenever you're comfortable and happy, why would you want to move out of that? But you know what I mean? They realize they have to. So it's kind of hard to leave that behind when they've been so happy so long. It's just hard for them to see how they're still going to be happy in the future. Because I'm also getting the King of Cups where their spiritual sense is lying. They have a lot of love for you. They do want this to go forward. And I'm getting that's why the Eight of Swords is here. They can't stop you. They don't want to stop you. But they are like, it's like moving out of a very happy, comfortable place. And only because it's good for you are they willing to do that. Otherwise, they really don't want to. And spiritually, I'm getting the Three of Wands with you. You have to move forward. Like, I know that the world is here, but with the world and this card together, like, you're going forward. You are going forward. I'm getting spiritually, you are going forward. I am also getting, though, just so you know, the Page of Pentacles with your partner. They are standing beside you. They are supporting you. And they're just trudging through 1 foot at a time. But I'm getting, like... To them, it's like, that's a young person holding that pentacle. For, like, if a full-grown man was holding that same size pentacle, or a full-grown whoever, it wouldn't be as heavy as it is for that person. And I'm feeling like, with maturity, with time, with maturity of this situation, this is going to get better, this is going to get easier. It's just going from what they really already know they like and already know they enjoy and are comfortable with. That's the challenge. And I feel like you might look at it also like, yeah, well, I'm very comfortable too, and it has been nice, but there's something better, and we have to keep going towards something better. And I feel like your partner gets that. It's just getting to that spot and like wondering, is it going to be as good and as comfortable as it was? Because the world is here. The chapter is closing. Like, this chapter is done. You're going into a new one. I feel like this is a good card for you where you're standing, and it's the Hierophant. Very good for holding for tradition, holding to the plan. This is a person that, if it doesn't matter if it feels right or not, they see things through, they keep things on point. They stick with tradition. I feel tradition a lot with the Hierophant, I have to be honest with you. But I feel like they're talking about your relationship with your partner when it comes to this. You're holding up your side as usual. You're keeping things going as you normally would. You talk with your partner. Everything's going well. You're maintaining the relationship. But I'm getting, like, even if you don't have the energy to do so, you're forcing yourself to do so. Like, you might come home and from whatever change you're going through, you're really tired. And for some of you, it's just happening on your side. For others, it is more, but I feel like for a lot of you, it's just on your side. And if you're coming home and you're really tired, you're still forcing yourself to make sure you take care of your partner, to make sure they're okay. You're trying to keep it as much normalcy, you're trying to keep things as normal as they've been, if that makes sense. Even if you're dead tired, you're just like, nope, I gotta make sure everything's okay with my partner and make sure this relationship is okay. The Hierophant will it doesn't matter if it's wrong or right, they'll just keep going with tradition. That's what I'm getting with this. And I'm getting you're maintaining the relationship, even if you're just like spent or you know, you're burning the candle at both ends. I'm getting you're doing your best. Let's put it that way. You are just not giving up. This relationship is a high priority to you, definitely. But I feel like you're actually winning out too, by the way. I feel like you're running yourself ragged, but you are winning out in both sectors. Like, it's for a short time, I feel like you'll get away with it. Now, your partner does love you. I'm pulling in with that King of Pentacles energy, but the King of Pentacles is going to kind of morph into the King of Swords. And I feel like this is good, because your partner does love you. And I'm saying that because the King of Cups becomes the King of Swords with the Five of Wands and then the Four of Swords. I'm feeling like your partner is coming forward and realizing you're you're doing too much. It's too much, and I feel like they're talking with you and they're saying, let me take care of this. I feel like they're trying to pull things off of you, trying to make your load lighter. And I feel like they might come through with that Five of Wands and the King of Swords. When those two cards are together, it reminds me of somebody I very much care about in my life. And they're very strong, and they're not as delicate with words or a situation as maybe they could be. It's kind of like a bull in a china shop, I think the term is. Except in this situation, your partner's meaning well, doing well, and getting their way. They're getting you to slow down. But it's more about, taking the load off than anything else. And they're trying really hard to make sure that you don't burn yourself out. I'm just getting it might come across, when I'm getting these two cards together, I'm just getting it comes across really kind of, I don't want to say rough, it could. See, because you got the good cheer above it. I'm feeling the good cheer is like, take it with a grain of salt. I feel like you know your partner well enough. It's really bittersweet because I feel like they're coming across a little gruff, I have to say, is what it feels like. But they're like telling you to calm down, slow down, let them take over some stuff. It's like it's good for you. I just don't feel like it comes across very delicately. And I'm getting the good cheer on top of it is like take it for what it is. See beyond the words. See what's actually happening. What's being done for you, because I feel like your partner's upset that they're like you don't need to I'm okay. Nothing's gonna happen. I love you. You're fine. You don't have to run yourself crazy. Like I'm not that delicate where I'm just gonna be falling apart without you. You can relax and get used to your new situation. I will be fine. I will take care of this. As long as you keep checking in with me, that's all I need. But I feel like it's not coming across so delicately with that 5 and the King. I have to be honest with you. I feel like it's coming across a little gruff. But good cheer is saying, look past the words and through to the action, what they want to do. I'm getting they're a little upset about, they're trying to just deal with things. And I'm getting things are really busy. I'm also seeing, though, this helps you. This is where you get the wheel is turning in your favor, because you have to concentrate more on the world at this point. The wheel is going with the world. Things are going your way. Things are going good for you. You need to be concentrating on that. And I'm getting this turns the world a little easier. You turn into this, the world turns, whatever. Your partner pulls off a lot of responsibility. I still feel like it's not coming across all that well. It's almost like there's things you want to be involved in that you just don't have the time to do so. And I'm getting they're a little aggressive, I can handle it, back off. But it's good. They're not trying to be mean. I just feel like it's coming across gruff. And they're helping you. And it's going to help you be a part of this situation because you need to concentrate on that to have that success. The world goes in your favor. The world turns in your favor because I'm getting these two together. I keep wanting to say the world turns in your favor. I know that might sound weird or hokey, but that's how that feels. It's like a new day needs to come through fresh and full, and you need to center your energy that way to succeed there. And your partner's like, let me take this for now. It doesn't have to be permanent, but at least let me take it for now. I'm getting they do that. They push that. It feels gruff. You allow that to happen because your partner is quite insistent. At that part, the Magician with the health comes in for you. I feel like this part of this reading is saying, please let your partner do that without pushback. Let them take as much as they want because your health is at stake here. That's what I'm getting. And I don't mean you're going to fall flat on your face. But some people get headaches and get run down. Other people get migraines. Some people will literally they'll wipe themselves out and they'll just be down for a week or two. They're saying, let your partner take over these things for now, because the Magician is saying it's in your hands if you're going to be okay. If you don't let them take as much as they want, your health could suffer and you're not going to succeed at either. You're going to fall down and you're going to have to pick yourself up, and you're going to go through this until you let your partner take over on those certain things for a time. I'm getting it's really important not to burn your candle at both ends. You do for a very short time, and you get away with it. But when your partner starts coming back at you, let me take over this, let me do that, they're seeing the strain, and they're like, that's like the warning shot. If you let them do that, you should be okay. You should be healthy and able to carry on. It can be just temporary, but if you don't, you're going to have this situation. You're going to have some problems. Some of you, I feel, get nasty migraines. And if you get migraines like me, it's like an ice cream headache that gets worse and just goes on all day, and it's hell. And I really wouldn't wish that on anybody. So hopefully you don't get that. Hopefully you see this in time so you don't do that to yourself. There's other things that can happen for people, but they're saying health-wise, you're going to suffer. Pull it back. Let your partner have that. It doesn't have to be permanent, but for your own health. Because if you're down and out, you're not doing anything for anybody anyway. Good? Okay. Sorry, I feel like they got really preachy. I'm getting where this goes for your partner. Your partner is very centered. This feels very fortified to me, I have to be honest with you. Your partner does not want you to pick up that sword. Like, if you see it's a Four of Swords, you see that one in front of that guy? I feel like he's almost guarding that sword. He's just like, don't touch my sword. Don't be touching it. Because I feel like your partner might be a little insistent for a few months. Do not try to take back these responsibilities for a few months. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting he or she, they, whoever they are, it doesn't, don't get caught up in the gender. I apologize for using a... But they're very grounded with this. They're contemplating things. They're getting used to helping you. They're doing this part right now, but I'm feeling like they're planning for the future. I'm getting they're slowly looking how they want this to change. They're reforming the plan, and you're doing what you have to do. They're looking at the whole situation, and they're trying to see how it needs to reconstitute. They're looking at what you're doing. Are you going to be in this much demand for a long time, permanently possibly, or is this temporary? And if it's temporary, when is it going to let off? I do feel like they're talking with you, but they want to plan it out. They want to look out for the relationship. They're looking out for the home side between you and them. So they're playing for the home team. So are you, but they're planning for the home team. I feel like that's better to say. As long as you keep in contact with them, as long as you keep telling them what's going on and how long you think it's going to be at this level for you, how things are going for you, and you keep updating them, like I feel like they want you to update them. It's important to them. Let them plan out how things get handled, because I feel like they'll be able to successfully do that, and they'll be able to get you back in line to where you're comfortable and they're comfortable without you burning the candle at both ends, because that will make you sick. Are we good? Okay. Okay, I think we went through everything. That was intense. Your partner means well. I'm just seeing that moment. It's funny. It's a good moment. I don't feel like you're flipping out or getting upset about it. I feel like you're tired and you're kind of like, oh my god, like they're losing it on you, and you're just like, That's what I feel is happening. But I feel like they're saying, just look through that, see the intention. Don't think about the words, because I feel like there's going to be some poor choices of words there that don't mean as much as maybe, yeah. They're just like, see through the words, see the intention. Because your partner does love you. Alright, let's go into Cancer singles. Messages for Cancers that are single Cancers. Messages for single Cancers. Messages for single Cancers. Alright. Really? Okay. Let's do some of these cards. Messages for single Cancers. Messages for single Cancers. Okay. You only got 2 with the Oracle cards, which is fine. This is the strongest card in your past. The 3 of Cups. This is a social connection for you. Somebody that's around you, there's definitely a social connection. I don't feel like, I'm not seeing cups here at all, am I? I don't think so. But I feel like there's someone you're looking at and you're like, could it be? You're kind of looking at it like, Could it? Possibly. I don't know. It's kind of like you're looking at it like, maybe, maybe not. I don't know if this person really fits. Because when you're looking at this person, there's a social connection. You're standing with the Ace of Wands, but you're looking at it like, because you're standing with the Ace of Wands, you're questioning, what do I want to do? Do I want to do anything? Should I move on from this? Should I try to move it forward? You're questioning this person. You're wondering if they really do fit. And the overall energy seems to be matching with this, with the Seven of Pentacles. You're not thinking this is really the right time. You want to see a little bit more. Like, I feel like you want to hang out with this person a little bit, but you want to hang out with them not like a date, but more like in a social setting. You want to see how they just react without having any responsibility in the sense of like, we're dating or, this has to go somewhere. You just want to know a little bit more information without any stress. You don't want to stress them like they have to impress you, and you don't want any stress on you like there's something expected in the sense of like, is this date going to lead to another date? How are we matching up? You don't want to go there. You just want to get to know them a little more in a casual setting, not one-on-one, but more in a group setting is what I'm feeling. You want it to be less formal. Now, I'm getting, as this goes forward, in the centers, I'm getting the Page of Swords with the Queen of Swords. I'm getting this, all three cards seem to hit all at once, I gotta be honest. Even though the center is usually one leads to the next, not in this case, I don't feel like that's right. I'm getting the Page of Swords and Queen of Swords are going together in the sense of like, you're very perceptive, you're listening, you're hearing things, you're paying attention, reading between the lines, but the Queen of Swords is telling me you're very smart and you're putting out some tester conversations, I would say. I don't even feel like you're starting this conversation with this person, but they're in the vicinity or they're talking with some other people and you're posing a question to somebody else just to see how they react because you're worried that maybe the two of you really don't match. And there's some fundamentals that you're like, well, if I feel this way about this subject and they feel differently, that could be a problem. I feel like, well, this isn't that bad. So I'm pushing my luck, I almost thought, but maybe not. Like, I feel like you might be pushing forward, not pushing forward, but putting out there what your political views are just to see what the other person, where they stand or how vocal they are about them. Because I'm getting like you're talking to someone else, not to them directly, but it's something like that, where you're talking about it, you're making it very casual, but you're seeing if they, first of all, will bring forth their opinion, and then if they do, is it more with or against how you feel? Is it quasi there? Like, how does it fit? If you get along, how does that work? If you don't get along, how does that work? And I feel like it's kind of like one of those conversations where people are usually polarized. Not always, but usually. And you're just seeing how they react in that situation. This is a smart thing, though. I feel like this is smart because you're not trying to put them on the spot to see how they're going to react to when you say something. You just want to see how they react, like when a conversation is a little heavy, and like where it goes and where they kind of stand with it. Because you're not really sure that they kind of agree with how you feel, which isn't a big thing, but it's the first part is, are they in the same line of thought? But more importantly, if you're not in the same line of thought, is that livable or not really livable? Is that something that can be dealt with and you're both okay? Or is that one of those things like, no, and it causes like a headbutt situation? I am getting the joy right on top of this. I don't know if you saw that. I think I popped it up a couple times. So it's not a stressful situation, especially because that's how you want this to be in a casual group setting. I'm getting like, it's easily walked away from. It's easily shut down. Like if the conversation gets to be a bit much, changing the conversation isn't a big deal. And since I don't feel like it's a one-on-one situation, there's no like worry like, oh, what is this going to mean for the next spot? Like there's nothing worried. There's no future worry in that sense. I hope that's making sense. Like if you were on a date having this conversation, that might be a little over intense. But because it's in a group setting and everybody's talking about it, it's just kind of like, it's not really like causing a problem, if that makes sense. Like it's not like on that spot, like is it going to go well, is it not going to go well? It's just kind of how it is, just to see where each person kind of lies. I feel like I'm drowning in that. I'm going to let that go. Now, See, I've got these two cards here. This is what's coming in next. I got the Eight of Cups with the Six of Cups. Eight of Cups is at the bottom. It's like the base. It's what you're standing on. The Seven of Pentacles is kind of like the air that you're breathing. It's the weather that's passing through. The earth that you're standing on, you know what I mean? That's the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles? Eight of Cups. It's where you're standing. It's where you're grounded. The weather may change, but you're still standing here. And I'm getting you're wondering where the journey is taking you. And your thoughts at this point, because I feel like this conversation makes you feel like, you know what, maybe this isn't the best matchup. I don't feel like there's anything you're holding against this person, but you're just kind of like thinking ahead. You're like, I don't really know how I feel romantically about this person anyway. I can see myself being attracted to them, but I'm not really overly attracted to them right now. And I'm thankful that this person came forward very honest. Well, I'm thankful the way this person reacted. Based on how they reacted, I don't really think this is going to work for me. And because I'm getting some of them are just kind of like bowing out and not participating in the conversation. And you're just kind of like, well, I don't know if that really works for me. I mean, if they're just very benign about things, maybe that's not for me either. But for others of you, however this worked out, you're just kind of like, and it might be they even agreed with your opinion, but it was how it was conveyed or how they treated somebody else you didn't like. Something about this, you're just kind of like, I don't think this is for me. And it's in your thoughts, the Six of Swords. Like, I think I'm going to move on from it. And as you're going forward, I'm seeing the Nine of Pentacles. You're still getting along with this person. It seems to me they're still in your thoughts. Like, could it be maybe yes, maybe no? But I feel like you're kind of also very strongly in the spot of like, my life is good right now. I don't want to make it more complicated. So I'm just going to hold off. I'm still going to hold off. I'm not really sure this is a great match. Anyway, if we did go forward, I'm not even sure if they're all that interested, to be fair. And I feel like that's where you're coming from. I'm not really sure if they're all that interested. And I'm getting the Four of Pentacles for them. They don't seem to be moving. They don't seem to be advancing or regressing. However they are in your life, however they've been, they seem to be staying. They don't seem to be trying to change anything. But I also feel like they're holding back a lot of how they feel. Which this is very interesting for a general read, because wherever they stand with you in a romantic sense, they don't want it known and they don't want it coming forward yet. They're also in the spot of, it feels like they're also in the spot that their life is good the way it is and they don't really want to change it. They don't really want to start dating at this point. It doesn't seem like it anyway. It's a general read, of course, but I'm not feeling anybody moving forward in the environment either. So they seem to be matching your energy that way. You both seem to be very content, I have to be honest, and I feel like that's what's keeping the situation from going anywhere, either going forward or going away. Either way, you're both content how things are currently standing, and neither of you want to change that. Now, this is ending, I'm noticing, with the Nine of Wands. Whoever this person is, it's way too early to tell, but I don't really see... I'm seeing like one of you, if not both of you, goes in a different direction at some point. Because I feel like it's too stagnant. It just feels too stagnant to me. You got organization with the Nine of Wands, and to me the Nine of Wands is like a good start, but it's like the first phase is done and now waiting for the next phase to start. It's one of those feelings for me. In this deck, that's just how that comes across for me. So I feel like the fact that you went through this part and you got organization here, it just feels kind of stale, I have to be honest. I'm not feeling any sparks. I'm not feeling any magnetism drawing you together. And I feel like one of you, if not both of you, will go with someone else. And I mean that in the sense of like, either you'll each find someone else around the same time, or just one of you will find someone else and the other will just kind of stop thinking about the possibility. If that makes sense. Because I do feel like there's a low level of attraction between the two of you. It's just not going anywhere. It just feels like it gets stale and it just kind of goes on. One of you, if not both of you, goes in different directions. It's just, if one of you ends up meeting somebody first, the other just drops it and just ignores the, it just abandons the whole thought. Is that good? Done. Alright. It's not, I mean, for a love read, it's not really the best because nothing's happening, but it's not really the worst because I don't feel anything bad happening here. It's just love isn't happening here. Alright. I'm going to let that be what it is. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email. JamesForAstral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, Astral@gmail.com. Thank you.